Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Down to Mars. If you don't know by now, I'm Nis.
I'm Bex.
I'm Abby. Abs, whatever you want to call me.
First of all, I want to just start by saying, obviously it's our first episode of the year, so I want to start by saying thank you everyone for all of the support last year. It was
much appreciated.
Much appreciated.
We feel like we've come a long way.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we've had a lot of love, so thank you for all
2020
the
was a mad
views.
year, but a good thing to come out of it, I think, was, you know, starting the pod and building up from there. So
definitely.
Thank you guys. 2021 has already started a bit mad, I think.
Yeah.
2025.
As you probably could have predicted, I mean,
everything get fucked when I read.
Do you know what? My aunt watches this, can you not? Because she was telling me that I'm watching the podcast. I was just like, what episode? But yeah, no, it started off messy. Like, there's just it's just, like you said, 2020 part 2. What day is it even? It's like the 9th day of the year.
Yeah, it's December the 40th at this point. But,
yeah.
It started mad. I tried to come into this year with like some new energy, new vibes, forget 2020, but it's just like 2020 now left.
No, it all kind of merged into one. It was like, usually in a new year you feel like, okay, cool, it's a new day, it's a new dawn, but it literally felt like
it's literally like every single day there's something going on. But do you think that's because we're in lockdown now again?
Yeah.
So
until this virus situation is gone, I feel like it's just like a dark cloud hanging over the year. But it's not the only thing that's fucked up about the year or last year. But I feel like until this virus is gone, we're being controlled and dictated to. We can't go where we want to go. We can't do what we want to do. So that's already a bad vibe. Like,
everyone's just sitting at home on
fed up. I'm sick of it.
Literally, and you know what?
I'm sick of that.
Aside from the actual science of the virus and the fear of getting the virus and the sickness itself, the after effects of the lockdown and people's character and people's and everything. And even yesterday I spoke a little bit about like vulnerable people at home who are trapped now and going to school and work as their escape, for women who are in abusive situations or children who are in abusive situations. You know, they've lost that escape. So I think we need to just be mindful of what's going to come out of this
100%,
afterwards.
100%. And I think, as you said, like it's the after effects that are worrying, but also now it's like, okay, cool, we're seeing I feel, for me anyway, it feels a lot more not close to home this time, because it was close to home like the last lockdown, but this time it's like I'm seeing bare young people saying that they're testing positive, but then on the other hand you still got everyone like running around like nothing's happening. So it's just like, I don't know, we're in a bit of a weird place right now. But you know, we're gonna make sure we give you guys the content to get through it.
Yes.
For me,
your little fix.
Yeah, we got you. For me, this lockdown has just been so far. It's like first lockdown, me and my mum were like,
I remember. I'm moving out.
No, living at home, especially living at home is mad anyway, but living at home during the flipping pandemic, where it's like, okay,
hostile.
Yeah.
Very hostile.
Everyone's on the edge.
Yeah, literally.
I'm going out, okay?
100%. And all the things that I might do that piss her off, usually it's like I might be able to run, like go and do them, go to my brethren's yard. Now it's like, cool, I'm gonna have to do it here. Do you know what I mean? And she don't really like that. So the tension with her and just family in general has been tense.
Yeah, it's a very volatile situation, because you're enclosed with somebody, and it's not even necessarily if you don't live with your mum. Like, say you live with anybody, you're gonna be getting irritated, because I'm sure it's not just your mum at home that you realizing, we're rubbing shoulders a little bit, you know, because you're in that enclosed space and trying to navigate living so closely with someone and working in that environment, and it's your rest environment and it's your exercise environment.
It's everything. Like I was logging on to work from, it's gonna sound bad, from my bed sometimes, not all the time. I mean, logging off, then I'm just in my bed, like nothing, I'm not changing, there's no change of scenery, like there's no get up and go. But the one thing I would say is the first lockdown, it was hard, definitely, but the only thing is the time of year that it was, you was able to go out, do some exercise, go to the parks, or go for walks. I remember we even went and met in a park or whatever. Now it's cold.
Social
You're
distance.
just in, social distance, obviously. But now,
wear your mask. No, seriously, wear your mask.
But but now it's blitz outside. I actually ain't stepping out. Like, I mean, we can't anyway, but...
No, you're really confined.
Yeah, you're even more locked.
You are.
You're even more locked because it's too... You don't want to go nowhere anyway.
It's mad.
It's just...
And I think that's what's made Clubhouse pop so much. Like, I think that's what's made it such a popular app, because obviously, aside from the fact that, you know, you can't see anyone and it's just voice and whatever, which does make it unique and does make, like, you know, it draws you in a little bit. Definitely not a house party thing, because I did not feel house party one bit.
No.
But Clubhouse, okay, cool. I like to go in there, observe. Not really so, I mean, I will speak, but I'm not on there, you know, like, join my room. I'm not, no. But I do enjoy just going, just literally for the chill conversations though. Like, just actually talking to people, yeah, because I think you're in your house every day just with your family, that can get repetitive. Yeah, it can. You want your space. My mum's coming in my room like, what are you doing? Like, why are you talking to strangers? What's going on? Yeah. Like, it's like, Mum, I talk to strangers every day.
This is normal for me.
Ain't nothing changed. But that's kind of leading into what I want to speak about today, because I want to get into the just into the subject of like how much we value our family's opinions, or how much you consider that in that sense. Like, it doesn't have to just be your family, but whoever you like consider your guardian or whoever raised you. Yeah, how much does like their opinion and what they think is right matter to you?
I would say I'm very headstrong in certain things. My parents, you could say, are more traditional in certain aspects. So already we kind of have opposing views in certain areas. Yeah. So I'm very headstrong in the sense of like, if I want to do something, I'm going to do it regardless. But in some aspects, my mum has always proven to be right. Like predictions that she's made, points that she's made, as much as I've learned the hard way, but she's always proven.
Let's be specific.
She's going to quote this, I'll put it on loop. My mum has always proven to be right. Anytime saying she's going to be like, maybe you said this.
Mum! Shout out, mum. No, I'm joking. No, with relationships, friendships, work, like my mum's always, she knows. Yeah, she can spot something from a mile away. But me being the type of person that I don't know if it's just my star sign, Scorpio. Anyway, I'm headstrong. I like to find out for myself. So I have always learned the hard way. But I always take what my mum or my dad or whatever would say with a pinch of salt. Because like I said, our generations are so different anyway. So certain advice that they might give, and also their advice is obviously to kind of protect you and keep you out of like certain situations. So do you know what I mean? But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say I take some of what they say with a pinch of salt, but ultimately my decisions come from myself.
Yeah,
I would say.
Do you think the fact that obviously you live at home, do you think the fact that you live at home, obviously it must in some way, but in what way do you think that dictates that?
Yeah, because it's their house.
Yeah.
So, for example, say if I said, okay, no, let me not say.
What are you gonna say, girl?
Okay, mine.
Okay, so you wanna come over? No, I'm joking. I wouldn't say that. But no, but if I said to, obviously certain things have to be. No, but obviously. It does play a part. It's their house. So obviously I can't just do things. Yeah. There's a respect element, and also just like, it's not my house. So even if I was to say like, oh, you guys come over, I have to also run it by them just to make sure they're cool with it. It's their house, it's their, do you know what I mean? Ultimately, lockdown has taught me that I want to move out this year. So, but
if you're watching,
get the rent money together. So, just if you want to donate.
So, I've been saving. So I tap my flash on. No, yeah, I definitely think it's time to move out and get my own space. But yeah, like obviously it plays a part. I'm sure the same would apply for all of you guys if you're living at home. Like you got to bear in mind, and the type of parents that we have, I know we've all got this in common because we say it all the time. They don't shush. They will make it very known.
I'm not backing that. I don't know what she's saying. Like,
oh yeah.
I'm not backing that still.
Okay, well, let me put out some chats. Not joking.
Evidence, receipts.
Joking, but yeah, that's my stance on that.
I think the living at home thing is definitely key, because I find that when I'm looking, even at what you're saying, over the years, in my early years, I had this strong like conflict with my mum. We couldn't get on. We was always beefing. Anything she would want to say, I've got to say the opposite. Yeah. And I found as I've got older, that has definitely eased up a little bit and become more fluid and natural, and like we have like a more relaxed relationship. But that happened when I moved out. Do you know what I'm saying? I've moved out and we've been able to actually enjoy each other as mother and daughter and friends. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I've had that space. And then now not during lockdown, but kind of after. Anyway, last year I've moved back home. I'm seeing that our relationship, whilst it's still got that nice friendship, it's
getting a bit annoying now.
Yeah. And she's getting irritated.
You've had that experience of obviously living by yourself. So having that freedom to kind of do what you want, like, you know,
you're not on top of each other as well. Like sometimes being on top.
Rules in a way.
Yeah, and then it's nice when she calls you, like, and you're on the phone for an hour and a half. It's like, oh yeah, let's talk, or even let's gossip. She wants me to tell me about, my girl. I'm like, nice. Yeah. When I'm at home, every second you want to become to gossip. Leave me alone.
I'm hard enough.
That is actually my mum.
Yeah, and you see my girl, like, Mum, I've had a long day. It's a lockdown. Just give me a minute.
Yeah.
There's no space, and I think the space is a very key element, but we haven't got it right now, have we?
So we're on top of each other.
I think that's it, the whole time it's like, okay, cool, trying to keep that. Obviously, you always have that respect. Well, for me, it's you're always going to try and have that respect, but then sometimes the respect can get a little bit lost. And for me, obviously, I just live at home. I live at home with my mum and my stepdad, and but it's kind of like sometimes I feel like I'm like getting advice or getting not discipline, but you know, like getting that
input
from multiple people. Because obviously my mum will give her input, my stepdad will give his input, and then I've got my brothers as well, and they play a double role in it, because I consider them my brothers, but then when my dad passed when I was quite young, so they raised me from that age. They took on that role of, okay, like, we're going to be more than a brother to her and kind of being a dad, innit? So the dynamic there is also very mixed up, because sometimes it's like, cool, I'll reason with my brothers and it's just like, like, they're my brothers. But then sometimes it's like, raw, when I'm reaching out to them like you would maybe reach out to your dad. So that gets a bit blurred, because now I'm kind of not closer in age, but I'm, you know, we're not so far apart in terms of age, so it's like they're trying to find the balance of being like cool, and they've always been cool. I've always been able to talk to them about everything. I've never really felt like I can't, you know, be myself. Like, and there's always been that understanding, which is good. And I think maybe that's like a plus, because I wouldn't maybe have had that if it was just, well, I suppose I would still have had that, but actually that wasn't there naturally. That came
with time.
Yeah, because I definitely went through the phase, like when I was like 17, 18, and I wanted to start going out and I wanted to, you know, go to clubs and stuff. And my brothers, they weren't having it. Like, they weren't. Like, when my friends was going to flipping underage, like, not even underage.
Are you looking at me?
No, but I used to ask my mum all the time, like, I want to go bump when bump was in.
I remember bump. That was good, you know.
Well, I never experienced bump. Like, I think I've made it to 791 a few times, 791 in Cornhill. Shout out 791, if you know, you know. Hey. I used to walk there, like, walk back home, but with my little Magnum thinking I'm grown. But that was when I was like 17, and I, you know, my mum would kind of be like, all right, cool, you can go, but don't tell your brothers. But I feel like I had it hard. I feel like I had it extra hard, because they was obviously more protective, because I think when you suffer a loss, you're like, okay, cool, we have to prevent it happening again, even though you can't, innit, but they'll be over protective and try and compensate for that. But then at the same time, they're kind of battling, because they don't want me to, you know, just be at home not doing anything. So I think when you have siblings as well that maybe play the role and also will give you advice as well, it's a different kind of dynamic.
I can imagine. I definitely think that would be such a strong input as well, especially if your brothers have grown up like in the same area, so they know what's going on, and they know more than like
they're not stupid,
your parents know, innit? So it's like sometimes, even though you might want to do stuff and you might, like, as a young person, want to be going out and going to these underage raves, they've been, and they know what one. So you have to understand that maybe their advice is not coming from a place of even just necessarily protection. It's like prevention, because they know wagwan, and they're just like, raw, I don't even want to let you get into a situation where certain things could possibly happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I feel like for me it was quite a bit easier, because I have an older sister rather than an older brother. So I feel like older brothers are a little bit more strict and whatever. So my sister was cool in the sense, if I wanted to go somewhere and I told her, she'd like drop me, pick me up. It was less like our parents coming to pick you and drop you, but she'd be cool. Like to be fair, she always kind of, she was cool. So I think that was
helped you.
Yeah, like she would, all right, why don't you put this on? Why don't you wear this? Why don't you do your hair like this? Da, da, da. So she was like, it was a good experience. But then to be fair, she was with my brother-in-law from probably about 18, 19. So when I was at age, sometimes he'd have his input. I'd be thinking, okay, sorry, I know that you're with her, but you're not actually my brother. So not yet. She ain't got a ring on everything yet. So can you just keep your opinions to yourself? But he would sometimes be like, so what do you think? You and your friend, why's your dress so short? I'm thinking, listen, go and watch what my sister's doing. Don't watch what I'm doing. Because I've never had some even obviously my dad would give his input, but I would never, you know what I mean? Like, I never had a brother. And brothers are worse. I feel like brothers are more like...
Brothers are like, well, they not always, but brothers, like my brothers are involved in it. Like, and I appreciate it and I'll never ever take it for granted because honestly, when I go to them when I'm on my knees, they're there in it. So I do appreciate it. But it is like, you have to humble yourself. It's humbling. Because
and they're younger, so they know certain things. They know what people are
when
thinking.
I'm lying. Listen, when I used to first be on social media and I'll be on Twitter, like posting not mad pictures, but like, okay, cool. I'm like,
oh my God.
Like, there was one, I remember it was the Halloween one.
I know that picture. I remember I saw a picture. I was like, what's that?
It wasn't the gold one. That one was another one.
That one was the
true. My phone used to get taken all the time. They used to be like, delete that. And they'll call me, be like, delete that picture now. Like, I posted a picture and it was, I don't think it was a police officer? It wasn't a police officer, no.
You had a number of...
it was
I'm going in the archives now.
I had a black bodysuit on.
Oh yeah, I remember. Right. How old was you, Narissa?
I think I was 6. I was even 6.
Where did you get it from?
Little bro, older brothers.
I went Oxygen in Croydon. Yeah, I got the little bodysuit. It had like a mesh piece. It was a bit. It was mad. And if my sister posted a picture like that today, and she's what? She's 19. She's 19. She's 20.
She's 20 now.
How can I know?
If she posted a picture like that today, I'm saying, yo, are you mad? Like, we're gonna rock, innit? So I get why I had that bodysuit on, and then I had like a little tail.
Oh, I remember it.
And I think London was in front of me and I had my hand on, it was a bit mad. It was mad. Now I look at it and I'm like, okay, cool. At the time I just thought, you lot are trying to take down my life, like don't want to give me no freedom, I can't do what I want to do. So we've definitely grown from then. I've definitely been able to, humble myself. Like recently, my brother came and checked me the other day, and he was like, what is it? Like he just said, I need to have a chat with you. When he said that he needs to have a chat, I'm like, okay, cool. What have I done? Yeah. What are you gonna say? And he was just obviously talking about. So if you don't know, guys, no, I'm not. He was basically saying, obviously, my brothers don't smoke, innit? Neither of them smoke. They don't smoke. I'm not talking about cigarette. I'm talking about I don't smoke cigarette. But I do occasionally dabble in the old,
The old what?
You know what I'm talking about.
Say it.
I smoke. I'm sorry, but I do.
You said dabble. I was like,
it's not.
I was like, whoa. She's like,
I'm not involved in this treacherous activity.
I mean, I don't smoke.
I talk to myself in it. You don't know that I'm a realist. I keep it real in it. So whatever I do, I'm gonna tell you. Yeah. But not all the time. What are you laughing at?
I'm just looking at people's faces.
Not all the time, but every now and then I like a little meds. Just to relax myself, cool myself, my little corner. But the other day, my brother come talk to me, and obviously he's basically saying, yeah, I think you need to drop out the smoking, innit? So instantly, I've got my back up, innit? Yeah, because I'm just like, right, why? Because I feel like I am still like, cool, like I might smoke, I work, I still get everything done that I need to do. It's not like I'm just in my house smoking. My mom don't even let me smoke in her house, so if you know how cold it is right now, you know that if I want to smoke, I'm just
suffering for the weed.
Not like, for the high. So it's not ideal. So my brother comes back to me and he's just like, yeah, I just think obviously like there's the mental risk, which I'm understanding. I'm not completely ignorant to the fact that, yeah, cool, you can smoke and be on your shit, but it can hinder you in a way,
course,
innit?
yeah.
But in that conversation, I think that at the time, I think he didn't read it right, innit? So we already had some little conflicts going on, you know, other stuff that they'd been speaking to me about that they weren't really happy that I was doing. So at the time when he brought it to me, it was like, why are you saying this? Like, I don't
feel like it was just an opportunity for them to like add more on top.
No, I don't. At the time, I did think. Not even I didn't think that, but I did maybe move like that.
Okay,
so I did have my back up, and I was just like, raw, like,
why you come with this now?
Yeah, because for me, I feel like you lot wouldn't even really, unless I told you, you lot wouldn't even know that I smoked. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, there's certain things that I said. The group chat, people want to throw their little shade, you know. Like,
family group chat?
Yeah, my family's really toxic. They're very toxic. So sometimes it's a lot. And I just feel like you guys are on me. I'm the black sheep of the family. I'm always the one that's doing wrong.
I always say that. I'm the Kim Kardashian of my family.
Like, but when, you know, you lot will know when the time's right, I'll
be loving ya.
Yeah, like, you'll be happy. But yeah, he's like, my brother's come to me, obviously we've gone for a little drive and he said it. And I'm just feeling like I'm 17 again. Like, I'm just sat there like, what? Like, no, I don't need you. Listen, I'm good. Yeah, like, I've got it under control. Like, I'm not addicted, And he's like, but you are addicted, innit? Because if you wasn't addicted, you would stop. So we had that whole debate. And then it's like, I just went home fuming, like red in the face, like, but obviously after that I'm
processing it.
Yeah, because anytime someone brings something to me, I will always try and take it in, even if I think you're wrong, you're chatting shit. I'm gonna try and consider it. So I did. I was sat at home and I was thinking, okay, cool. There's obviously an element of truth to what he's saying because otherwise he wouldn't have said it. So I'm thinking, all right, cool. Maybe I do need to drop out this thing, But then I'm stressed from thinking about it. I'm like, I need to smoke, blah blah. So it's like a cycle, isn't it? But in the end, you know, I come to the conclusion, and I'm like, all right, cool. He's right, innit? And obviously, how I look at it, I know that if my mum tells me something or my brothers tell me something,
come from a good place.
Yeah, of course. They're never gonna like try and lead me astray, and they're not completely like they don't get it in it, because otherwise they would have probably tried to bad me up as soon as they found out that. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of they're kind of
working
like
with
that.
you.
Yeah, 100%. They're not like that. Like they're obviously just like, right, like we would rather you don't do this, innit? Yeah. And of course, if you're respectable, I wouldn't encourage my younger siblings to smoke.
No, of course not.
If I see my sister with unboxing, I don't care if I do it. Like, don't, just because I've done it, I don't think you don't need to make that mistake. And I think sometimes that's where it's a bit of a strange one when it comes to like your parents and stuff, because it's like they obviously don't want you to make the mistakes that they made or have to learn the lessons that they learned. Sometimes you do need to, but sometimes it's like, all right, cool. Let me take heed from what you're saying. Yeah. So, yeah.
I know what you mean. It's strange sometimes because I feel like younger generation, or even in your situation, you are the little sister. It can be hard sometimes because it's like when you don't want to take advice and your reasoning is, well, for me, I know when I was younger, it was definitely, well, I don't want to be like you. I don't want to live a life that you've lived. Not this to my mum. I want to do my own thing. So it's like, how can you tell me when you ain't in a situation that I would ever want to be in? Yeah. Like, not in a rude way, but it's like, I'm not trying to be like you. So you're having an opinion on stuff I'm doing, but I don't even, you know,
want to do what you're doing.
I don't want to do what you do. I don't want to be like you.
I know, but then I don't know, like because I feel like that, innit?
Yeah.
Is that how you feel?
Sometimes.
Oh, okay.
But then there's certain things where it's like, right, I'm very, very grateful that I was able to like sit down and learn my mum's lessons, because some of the things that she you know, has been on me for, and like maybe if she hadn't been through certain experiences, like when it comes to like relationships and stuff, the mistakes that she made when it came to relationships, she's very adamant that she doesn't want me to experience that. And I think I've definitely taken heed from that, because if I'm seeing someone or I'm talking to someone and the first sign of like anything that might be abusive or anything that is like
controlling,
those red flags, I'm on, like those are things that I just won't look past, innit? Yeah. And I think
you're good at that. I would say you're good at spotting things like that.
Well, you know, sometimes.
No, but I feel like when we've had conversations, you would say to me, like, even in terms of my own situation, you would be like, you know, and I'll be like, no, can't see anything.
But I think
It's orange, it's not red.
Yeah, like, but that's where I'm ignorant. Yeah.
No, I don't even think it's ignorance. I think
I like to just find out for myself. Or in denial sometimes, you know.
But then what you have to remember is you've grown up in a different family dynamic.
So
like, obviously I grew up and I had my dad there and whatever, but in terms of the relationship that I was witnessing, it wasn't necessarily healthy. It wasn't necessarily something that I would now want to go and mirror. I wouldn't think, cool, I want to meet someone like this. Okay, that sounds mad. But I'm not going to think I want to meet someone like my dad, because as a dad, my dad was great. But as a partner, it wasn't something that you would want to encourage your kids to do. Do you know what I mean? So I think whereas you might have, well, I could be wrong, but I think you've had maybe more of a like idealistic view of like a marriage and do you know what I mean? So I feel like maybe that
you say that, but then I feel like if I be honest, I never, when I was dating before, it was never people like my dad. Or what I experienced.
But not even that like your dad, but I think maybe it makes you less like, it makes the red flags less visible to you.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Because me, I feel like I will spot certain things. And that doesn't mean I'm gonna straight away know.
I'm laughing because
why?
I'm just thinking I tried all my life saying I'm gonna avoid men like my dad, and I feel like by accident somehow.
But sometimes I don't think that's accident. Sometimes it's like
I think maybe it could have been subconsciously, innit? But it's
definitely.
It's hard.
I think I'm kind of drawn to men like my dad in terms of like mannerisms and stuff. I like someone that's a little bit bossy.
Yeah,
confident. But
Big spender, big baller. I know what you mean.
There's certain things where you're like, all right, cool, I want that, but I don't want that. So, and I think when it comes to relationships, I am more conscious of those things. So, and that's one thing, back to the point, my mum always, has kind of drilled into me in a sense, and she will always, like, even if I'm talking to her about someone or if I introduce someone to her, she's probably, watching them to see how they move, how they treat me, and even down to my brothers. So whenever the guys that I've introduced to them and they, they rate and respect, it's because they can see, they respect my sister. Do you know what I mean? They're not, because they want to meet them. Because some boys might think, guys might think, I don't want to meet your brother. Your brother's trying to sit me down and ask what do I do? What my intentions
like that.
Of course. But I think if you really genuinely want to be with someone and build with someone, you will respect the fact that they do have people in their life that care about them. It might not even be that they're bigger than you and better than you and can do you something, but they want to like build up a rapport and want to understand who their sister's
dealing with
things with.
And I think that is especially important, especially when you then go on to have children and stuff like that, because I think a lot of the respect that my family have, and my mum especially, for my son's dad comes from the fact that he is such a good dad. And it's like, it's not even so much how he deals with me, because even though that's fine, but it's like they're looking at how he is as a dad and that respect. Like, so now every time, whether we're together or not, they care about him. So and they'll never forget that. And I think that makes them show him a lot of respect when he comes,
naturally.
Whereas if he was a crap dad, you think he'd come to my house? I'm like, what? My phone's gonna be like, hi, I'm coming. My mum's gonna be like, do you want food to take home? Like, what are you doing here? Like,
get out.
So I think that those things are very important, and that person showing that they want to be in your family and respect your family's ways and rules and like things that they expect. That 100%. Is a big deal.
And my brothers will always bring
Pick
it up.
On it.
Like they'll always be like, see, that's why I like, and I'm just like, let it go.
But if, for example, I know it's not actually what we're talking about, but if you was chatting to somebody and they didn't want to come and meet your family, or, because I know we're all quite family orientated in that perspective, how would that make you feel, or how would that go down?
For me, that would be a big thing. That would be a big thing, because obviously I think I'm close with my family. We have our issues, our differences or whatever, but ultimately it's like they're a very big part of your life. And I'm gonna think, why, innit? Why not? Because I think the reason why you introduce your partner to your family is because they will obviously need to know who you're around, but also they might pick up on things that you wouldn't necessarily pick up on. So I think for me, that would be a major, all right, cool, this isn't going anywhere, innit? Because if you're going to be with me, you're going to have to realize you're going to be integrated, like
into your family.
Yeah, even if we're not married, even if we're just dating, I feel like I seek something that is like, and I'm not just going to be leaving my family behind to go be with my man. Like, you're going to have to try and fit in.
If there's like a family event or whatever,
not even just events though. I think like even just on, sometimes, you know, you might just be chilling on a Sunday, like, I wouldn't want to miss out on family time just because I'm
got a
with
man.
someone.
Yeah, definitely.
But I know obviously that's not not the case for everyone.
No, I think you're right, and I think in a serious situation, that's a very important component, and it would flag to me like, oh, you don't want to come and meet my family. Right, maybe you don't see me like that, innit?
Yeah,
maybe you don't see me like that. You don't want to be serious with me. You don't want to be in my family. And then another thing as well that I would see as a red flag is if they didn't want to introduce me to their family.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Or if when they introduce me to their family, I know you can't always, and this is the hard thing, but sometimes people's family ain't the same as mine, innit? Whereas my family would be like, yeah, come eat. Some people's family ain't gonna be like that, calling like my mum will call. Some people's mums ain't gonna be calling me. Like, luckily enough, I've had a situation where, you know, like
it has been very
it's fine.
similar.
You know, his mum will be calling me. We have a good rapport and a good relationship.
And I think that's important.
It is,
that
yeah, of course it is.
Otherwise, it's just like you guys are just doing your thing, like one away, and there's no one else to kind of observe. And even though your relationship should just be you two, ultimately, I think you do need the input from other people. You do
100%,
need, like,
100%.
And as well, how people deal with their family, it says so much about them. So it's like, if you ain't even dealing with you don't even go to your mum's once a week. That for me is a big turn off.
How are you gonna deal with
You don't call your mum.
You're not concerned.
What the hell? Do your mum even know you're alive right now? Are you checking your mum every day? Like, things like that for me, it's like, if you ain't doing those things, I know me and you ain't gonna really work out.
But then, obviously, not everyone you have to then, maybe you would ask questions about the relationship.
That's true.
Yeah, because not everything is as idealistic as
rosy.
So you know, what about you?
Yeah, that would be. Sorry,
all right. You're talking about something. I see that mind.
I knew they were gonna ask me
Like
that.
Raven having a vision, girl.
Yeah, no, that would be an issue. But I remember when I was this was a long time ago. I was in a relationship. A long time. Once upon a time. I'm joking. I was quite young. And yeah, he didn't really want to. He was a bit nervous about coming to meet my family. And obviously, as time went on,
nervous or he didn't want to.
I would say nervous. He was putting it off.
Okay.
He did obviously come, but it wasn't necessarily. But obviously,
how much effort did you have to put in to get in?
A lot.
Right. That to me says you.
But do you know what? This is what she said though. Like in terms of our personalities, you probably would have been like, "Bun this." I didn't have that. I didn't have that necessarily, like that mindset. I was kind of understanding. You know, we was different. We had different. Like he wasn't family orientated. I was. So that is obviously like how I value like family time and like certain situations, he didn't really get it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then these are things now, as an older person, I would think, well, do you know what? As much as you're a nice person, our morals are so different.
Yeah.
Our visions are so different. It ain't really gonna work. You're nice.
At the time, was that something that you was willing to kind of like sacrifice? Yeah.
I would say probably, yeah. Not necessarily sacrifice to the point where I would have but I would think, okay, well, he's not gonna make it to this event, or he's not gonna. It's not. I'm not happy about it, but do you know what? I understand. Do you know what I mean? Like whatever. But then, as time went on, it became more and more of an issue. It became draining. It was just that, like, you know, this isn't
like
easy.
You said, you're going to be dividing your time.
It was. And my mum would make it, not necessarily make it an issue, but she'd be like asking questions, as mums would, and siblings, oh, I thought so-and-so was going to come. Oh, I thought.
And I think that's right, though.
Yeah.
As they should.
Why didn't they, you know, you said they were coming, oh, they're not coming today. And it makes you feel like, oh, okay, excuse. But ultimately, going back to the beginning of what you said about family input, I always, this whole situation I'm explaining, I did it my way, but my mum was right, because all this time that she was saying, well, that's not really a good sign that they don't want to come to this, they don't want to come to that, and all of this. As much as I defended that person, ultimately I realised, you know what, it ain't gonna work. 100%. Like morals, other things, whatever, like.
I think like for me, going back to, what was I even gonna say? My head gone.
2021, too much.
No, going back to what you said about, what was you saying about the meeting? Yeah, because
meeting family and
that's it.
Yeah.
Because my mum will always, and I never really understood this, like until obviously, like now I get in it. But my mum would always want to, like, even if it was like, I'm just talking to someone.
Do you want to meet them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not my boyfriend, mum, but he's not my boyfriend.
Yeah.
We've been to the
My
cinema
mum's the same.
once. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I want to know who you're around. And I never got it because none of my friends, like when I was in school and stuff, they never really like had to kind of do that. So I was just thinking,
Why are you on me?
yeah, like this is, you're moving mad. Like he's gonna think I'm, you know,
Doing too much.
Get married already.
Literally. But now I'm more, I get that.
Yeah.
Because if I had a girl child, I want to know, even if you're just going for lunch or you're going to the cinema, I want to know who you're with, innit?
Yeah.
Because it's very easy, I think, for young girls, especially, not guys as well, because, you know, guys can be vulnerable, but I think more often than not, girls are vulnerable, and their parent doesn't know who they're running around with.
Well, think about the truth, when you lot was younger, because me, if my mum knew who
oh my gosh, she would have had heart attack.
My mum would
honestly, actual heart attack.
I'm in Jamaica, living in ghetto. My mum would be like, what? What? This way we can keep it up. I remember I had to go tell my mum I was pregnant. I was thinking,
I don't know how you did that one, because my mum, honestly, I don't even know what.
Underage, like, you were so.
I know, and I was big 20, and how she was moving, she was just thinking, yeah, is this what you've been doing? No, just vibes. But seriously, if you actually, and it's a good point, because if you sat down and showed your mum every person that you spoke to, can you imagine the treatment, or even your brother, anybody in your family? But then
don't you think that their opinions on people, not even just relationships, obviously relationships are key, but like even just friends, they're never wrong. Yeah, it's like they've got a sixth sense. Like my mum's been telling me things from time and I ignored. Then I come back eating humble pie, like, so you know, didn't quite work out, you know? Yeah. Like you said, he was a waste man. It didn't work.
We move.
Yeah.
But well, that was a good little insight.
No, I'm interested to see how you guys will raise your children, because I can imagine you both as
parents.
Yeah, I can, and I feel like
so 2021 I'm gonna lift this little announcement.
Anybody put that into the air? Because no, that's not where we're heading.
Yeah, no, but it's a good point, because I feel like when it comes to, it's easy us like living our life how we want. But when it comes to our kids now, I'm probably gonna be my mum. I'm gonna be my mum. I know I'm gonna be exactly like her. As much as I try and run from it, I am my mother.
You actually see yourself morphing into your mum.
I just look in the mirror and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I look like her.
I'm in the kitchen with my head tied cooking. I'm thinking, oh my God, I feel like my mum.
Now sometimes I actually feel like her anyway.
Oh, it's mad. It's mad.
But yeah, that's that on that subject. I feel like we didn't even get to really
wrap it up properly, but
I never feel like we get to really get into it, you know.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for all of the support. What else? Is there anything else to mention?
No, just stay tuned.
Any sponsorships?
Subscribe, guys.
Another episode coming very, very soon.
Take care. Bye.